News Update is brought to you by...
This is how we flow. All the offers are quite exciting, and the prices will leave you smiling. Everybody's got a cheerful glow.
Get the new Samsung J5 plus 1 gig free data starting at just $345.
It's Tuesday, January the 5th, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. In our top story this morning, Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite warns that Barbados is exposed now more than ever to the threat of international terrorism, while stating that the government is prepared to meet Muslims and Rastafarians halfway on the controversial requirement that female members remove their headdress when taking official photographs. The matter was recently brought to the fore by a Muslim woman who threatened to take the government to court. However, Brathwaite told Barbados Today that a proposed amendment to the law which would allow both Muslim and Rastafarian women to keep on their headdress while ensuring that their faces are still shown had been before the electoral office for some time now.
I'm pretty sure that that's a proposed amendment coming out of lots of looking at the law and stuff by the electoral office, and that they're proposing an amendment to the regulations that enables people to maintain their headdress while enabling us to be able to satisfy ourselves that the person in front of us and the person whose photographs we're taking and the person, who when you present the photograph subsequently is the same individual. So that's been addressed, in other words.
However, the Attorney General insisted that the move by the government was not due to any threatened lawsuit. He also said there was a broader issue of national security to consider.
It is something that we need to keep our eyes on, because what happens in the rest of the world will happen in the region and will happen in Barbados. And as a member of government, as part of the national security apparatus, I certainly keep my eyes on it more and more, because Barbados should come first. Not religion, not whatever convictions, the national security considerations of this country should come first.
In other news now, 2016 is as good a year as any for Barbados to begin the process of removing Britain's Queen Elizabeth as head of state and replacing her with a Barbadian. So says Government Minister Donville Inniss, who is calling on his own government to turn its recent Republican talk into concrete action. As far as business in the coming year is concerned, Inniss, who is responsible for that sector, said a boost is in the works for the international business.
We have some new products coming out in the international business sector early in the year. Some legislation that needed to be proclaimed, we proclaimed those. Some tweaks that we're going to make to existing products like the National Business Company to expand the options available for those involved in that sector. We're going to expand a range of tax treaties and certainly create a better environment for Barbados to attract business in. On the side of commerce, we will continue to wrestle to the ground our issues regarding the World Trade Organization and the opening up of our markets and the reduction of some incentives that we have here.
The head of the Private Waste Haulers Association, Charles Reed, believes there is an easy way for government to get to the bottom of the illegal dumping problem, and that the answer lies in its controversial tipping fee.
Certainly I'm paying a lot of money every month. I'm paying anywhere between $12,000 and $15,000 a week in tipping fees. But it would not be difficult for the government through the SSA to determine who is buying and who is not buying tickets. And if you're not buying tickets, then that means that either you're not doing any business or you're dumping your business where it don't belong. The ball is in the court of government, no.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams.
Turning our attention now to news from the region, U.S. sanctions against the St. Lucia Police Force have been biting into its operations. These sanctions were imposed following the alleged unlawful police killings of 12 people during a 2010-2011 anti-crime strategy. Acting Commissioner of Police Errol Alexander admits that despite international assistance from security agencies, the force's operations had been affected last year.
Well, with the exception of the U.S., some of our other stakeholders like the French, the European Union, and some of these other areas, as far as India, we have been getting assistance and training from these areas. We have been also sourcing some from the regional security system and those that are not American sponsored.
In the wake of a CARICOM impacts probe into the police killings, more officers have reportedly been barred from entering the United States. However, the acting top cop disclosed that there are exceptions.
Minister of National Security Peter Bunting says the Jamaica Constabulary Force will redouble its effort to rid the nation of acts of criminality while focusing more on community policing. Bunting says although the country has seen progress in a number of critical areas, it witnessed an unwelcome increase in 2015 when it came to murders. However, the minister contended that the force will not be deterred or daunted by this setback. On the international scene, President Barack Obama says the tighter gun laws he will announce this week will save lives and potentially spare families the agony of bereavement. The president did not give details of what he will do, but he is expected to expand background checks on gun buyers. America's ex-top lawyer, Alberto Gonzalez, supports Obama's law, but not his methods.
You know, I can support increasing the types of transactions that are subject to background checks so long as the information collected by the government is used solely for that purpose and so long as the databases containing this information is accurate and complete. So the substance of what the president's trying to do here, I don't think I have a problem with expanding the types of transactions. I'm more concerned as to whether or not the president has the authority to do this through executive action, and I think everyone would agree that the country would be in a much stronger position if this kind of action is taken by both elected branches, by both the Congress and by the president. It makes it more lasting as opposed to executive action, which can be undone by the next president or can be undone by a law passed by Congress.
In the meantime, Donald Trump has warned that President Obama's planned executive actions to expand background checks on gun purchases are a step toward even greater restrictions on America's access to firearms.
Pretty soon you won't be able to get guns. I mean, it's another step in the way of not getting guns. And, you know, the one thing that is just before we even get to that is the executive order concept. You know, it's supposed to be negotiated. You're supposed to cajole, get people in a room. You're supposed to deal with them. You have Republicans, you have Democrats, you have all these people. They get elected to do this stuff, and you're supposed to get together and pass a law. He doesn't want to do that because it's too much work. So he doesn't want to work too hard. He wants to go back and play golf.
What do you do when the other side doesn't want to negotiate with you?
What you do is
you find something that you want to do that you think is right. Then what do you do?
Because he's been away for 2 weeks playing golf, okay? You know, he's not exactly trying very hard to get it done.
All presidents go on vacation. You know that, Mr. Trump.
And on that note, we end our Barbados Today morning news update. However, you can join us again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. You could also catch us on Izumi Media and bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 on Flow TV and to Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and the sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.